Hello, this is Jaymie White with Global Diversity News. Today we discuss the opening of the African American Museum in DC, and should other ethnicities also receive a museum. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the video, and check us out at globaldiversitynews.com. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So yeah, we can go ahead and get into the whole African American Museum and kind of our hopes for it, and kind of how we hope it grows and whatnot. So what are because you actually brought this to me, which I was aware of the African American Museum. I didn't know that it opened so soon, aka like what this weekend. But
Yeah, they have I think they have some kind of concert going on within the next few days with Common and the Roots, and they're gonna be opening up for the like an opening for the museum.
that's dope.
They had something going on recently. I think it was Wednesday.
Yeah, that one.
They had some kind of gala at the museum as well. So it's damn near it's really open. I think it officially opens on the 24th.
Yep,
So that
the
is
24th.
Saturday.
Yeah, this weekend. Yep, that's right. So I mean that's I'm liking the fact that it's an official one because I do know. I mean I feel like every city, with a large black population has like their own kind of African American museum. So I do like the fact that it's kind of the official one because I do think that was necessary. Um, but uh, I really hope that it's more than just slavery in the '60s.
It is. It is.
Okay, good, good, good.
Like it's three different parts of the museum. Like the man who's creating he stated that he said he hopes that there will be moments where visitors can cry as much as they can ponder the pains of the past, but they will also find much of the joy and hope that they have been a cornerstone of the African American experience. So it's not just gonna be like the pain of slavery. No, that's not. It's more to it. Like they have moments where you're gonna laugh. They're gonna have the cars from famous celebrities, from movie stars that they're gonna be shown at the museum. Negro baseball league memorabilia. So it's not just gonna be just moments where you just want to cry. No, it's gonna be fun. There's three different parts of the museum.
Well, let me say
So it's
this. Yeah, okay, three parts. As long as the majority of it isn't slavery in the '60s, I'm fine.
no. I mean, but at the same time, that those are big parts of our history. But like, I mean, it's not. That's not the whole, like, what's the museum? It's not going to be based off that wholly.
Yeah,
You have the Pullman porters. I mean, the railroad
yeah,
tracks. I mean,
Reconstruction.
it's a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because I think people
I mean,
really
you got
undervalue the Reconstruction era, and
yeah.
when it comes to black experience.
So it'll be something different, something new, and then it's like they'll have all sites around the U.S. Like with the Southern Museum in Chicago, that'll be an off-site for the Smithsonian Museum.
Okay.
They're actually expanding the Southern Museum as well in Chicago. I mean, they're expanding. I mean, making it bigger. The University of Chicago, I believe they purchased a building from the University of Chicago, which is right across the street from the Southern Museum in Chicago, and they're going to build another part of the museum across the street. So
I have a
you have
question.
all sites.
I have an interesting question.
What's up?
Are the employees going to be predominantly black?
I'm pretty sure that like when I go to the Southern, there
Yeah, but this is
majority
the
black.
Smithsonian though. This is the Smithsonian. That's Smithsonian. Sorry,
I I don't think it's gonna change.
I don't think so. Okay.
Why do you ask that?
I'm actually curious. I don't feel one way or another. Well, probably when you first start out, you probably want a majority black, but eventually, like 5 years, 10 years from now, I honestly wouldn't have a problem if it was reflective
You
of
have a
like the.
problem?
I wouldn't have a problem if it was reflective of the American population, but like 5, 10 years down the line. But for right now, like opening day, it
Mm.
feels like half white, half black, I might be like, whoa, I don't know how I feel about that. Like,
I see what you're saying.
yeah.
I mean, but it's gonna be like just something. Like I think it's pretty cool the fact that you have the first African American president in United States history, and he's leaving office this year. But before he leaves office, you have this museum being erected on a national monument showcasing the history of African Americans. And that just brings, like, even though he's leaving, his history will be showcased in this museum.
Well,
History was made.
okay,
And
history.
history is being made.
It's not his
history is being
but...
made even more. And then it's not just black history, it's American history. History is being made even more with the erection of this museum, showcasing the American history that's been left out or not talked much about at times.
So, is there a Native American history?
Yeah.
Is there a Native American history museum or whatever official in America?
I don't think so.
Washington D.C. National Museum of.
I mean, maybe you're wrong, Jaymie.
Well,
I don't think so.
Wait, hold on. I just found it, and it looks like it is. It's in D.C. It's National Museum of the American Indian. Yep. So the Native Americans have one. So yeah, we would in that case, yeah, the museum, Smithsonian Institution is part of the Smithsonian Institution and dedicated to life. Yep. So Native Americans. Yep. Okay. In that case, yeah. So yeah, those would be the two groups who have had like very unique experiences in America who deserve their own museum would be Native Americans and blacks.
Now what now? With the big increase of the Latino population, is that next?
So I'm gonna ask you this as a person who's not.
Would it be different? Would it be different sex? Let me say this real quick. Would it be different sex because you have Central American Latinos, you have South American Latino. South American Latinos, and you have Latinos of the European continent, Spaniards. So it's kind of like, would you tie that all in together?
That's actually
will be different museums.
That's a really great question. I mean, no, I can get what you're asking.
That was a problem with the Hispanic Heritage Month, like the fact that
that article. Let's reference the article.
Yeah,
it's one person's experience. I mean,
I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Check out the article. It's on the website. But the fact that when you talk about Hispanic Heritage Month, the young lady talked about my I believe I'm pronouncing the name correctly, natives. But the fact that when you talk about Hispanic Heritage Month, it's more about the European form of Hispanic Heritage Month, meaning the Spaniards. The Spaniards overlord taking over the Americas, and it's more to it than just the Spaniards. You have Central Hispanic Americans, Southern Hispanic Americans, and Mexicans. And they're all different cultures. There's 3 different cultures. So you can't just focus on one and say this is the whole of Hispanic culture, because it's not. So it's kind of like, damn, like when you go about making the museum, you just make a museum for Mexicans? You make a museum for Brazilians? Like, how would you break that down? I mean, there's so much culture there.
I don't know. What makes the Hispanic experience, or even for a museum, what is going to make that very complex is that. So, what ethnicity is Hispanic? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like Native Americans, basically originated from, the Americas, right? So you have people who were in, whatever state you want to mention. You had different tribes there. So you can take that and go from that point all the way up to America today, and you can create basically a museum out of that. Black Americans as well, I guess, originates from Africa, and then come over here, and then you can kind of expand that out. For Hispanics, it's a little bit different because they're a mix. Because there are people who have more African in them than I do, and more black in them than I do, that I consider themselves Hispanic.
Yeah, I forgot to
So,
bring you right.
man, so how do you include that experience when all their life they're treated as black, but they consider themselves Hispanic? And there's a lot of them.
That's like in Brazil, especially like the slave ships when they dropped off. They dropped off the most in the South America.
Yeah, Brazil. Like Zoe,
large descendant of.
Yeah, but going back to that Zoe Saldana or whatever, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. She talks about it all the time because she's Hispanic. She's not black. Funny enough. But she talks about when she was she talks about when she first tried to break into Hollywood, they treated her as black, so you had to take on a lot of black roles.
That's why, and she got a lot of grief from playing the legendary jazz singer
Nina Simone.
Recently. Yeah, Nina Simone. Yeah. Right.
Let's just make sure we're right about that. Yep, Nina Simone. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it, or I don't even know if it's out. But I know
it's out. She has a lot of grief. Like they said, she changed her skin tone, and made it darker.
I mean, she had. I mean,
and much other stuff.
I remember that. That was just poor casting. That wasn't her fault. That was poor casting. I mean, there are enough black people who look like Nina Simone more than Zoe. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. But
the Hispanic lady from The Orange is the New Black, she did an interview recently with the Breakfast Club. I saw it. It wasn't recently. It's probably last year sometime. But she said she's black, but she's still Dominican. But she identifies as being black.
See, and that goes right back to it. Like, what is if you're creating a Hispanic museum, I mean, you're basically creating a part black, part Mexican, part Spanish, part Native American.
Now, what will they use? Like, okay, with that being said, is that history showcased at the African American Museum? I'll be interested to know.
Probably not. Because
are you missing out?
Missing out? What do you mean?
You're missing out on that culture, that heritage. It's not going to talk to. I mean, it's not going to talk.
Well, the black experience in America is consistent.
Okay.
Right, Native American experience is consistent, and again, we're going back to that. Whereas, even the European experience in America is not consistent. Irish and Italians' experience in America is very different than, German and, Protestant, British descendants or whatever from there. Like, those two experiences are different. So same with the Hispanics, with the Hispanic experience, since it's not as consistent as, the black experience and the Native American experience. That's just going to be a lot harder. Man, I can totally hear you breathing hard.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man.
Yeah. But no.
Microphone.
Yeah, all up in the microphone. But no, because of that, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult to really like create one museum specific to that. Because like you said, inevitably what's most likely going to happen is if that's created, it's going to lean heavily to one type, whether that be which will probably be Mexicans, because Mexicans, I think it's like 70% of Hispanics in America are Mexican or something like that. So it's probably going to lean heavily to Mexicans. And you're going to have other Hispanic groups who are like, I don't really know. That's not really, what I experienced coming over.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man.
It's just very.
Yeah, so
it's interesting.
So that means Asians gonna
I mean, I mean, that's the thing. Like, are people gonna start complaining about it?
What do you mean by people?
And I don't think they are. Okay, you brought the fact. Okay, I'm sorry. They said it. You said it's the fact that Asians, Asian Americans get their own Asian museum, correct? Was that what you're trying to
Yeah,
lead to?
yeah. I just because I mean, we're talking about Latinos and blacks. Why not Asians?
I mean, yeah, I don't feel as though it's a problem not to have it, but will they, like I said, will people of different races begin to start making a big fuss out of it and say, hey, now it's our time to raise money to fund our own museum and tell our history,
It
and
might
tell our story.
that might happen, but if that happens, I don't think you're gonna get a whole like black and a whole Native American. I think when we were talking about, you're probably gonna get like a Mexican, and then you're gonna get like a Japanese. Because like for example, with Asians, like only one group of Asians went through a concentration camp in America. You know, the Japanese. You
Right?
know, that
Okay. Yeah.
experience is extremely unique, even within the Asian community. You know, so
Yeah.
so you know, you're
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
like
you said.
yeah. Versus like again, Native Americans, you know, where they were all forced on the reservations. You know, Black Americans, you know, they were all for the most part, you know, brought over as slaves, if not slaves, you know, underprivileged or whatever. You know, not they didn't have the same rights as you know everybody else. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Again, please like, subscribe, and comment on the podcast, and check us out at globaldiversitynews.com. Take care.